And then the process will continue. Now let me say something about the eligibility. Now the first thing is that the songs of the album is of Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Zanzibar, Southern Sudan, or originally from the aforementioned countries, though residing out there in the diaspora. Music, then the entry, you can fill out the entry forms in the format recommended. Now those forms are available on our website, www.kisimaawards.co.ke. Now the entry submission deadline is the 20th of May, and the drop of points will be at the Kisima Secretariat at the KICC, and Nakumatt outlets, and a number, and you could also courier it to this address. Technical and creative processes. There are a number of stakeholders from various newspapers. Not all of us. We shall also get individuals from the leading FM stations. Now, the process is, the technical details are actually on the website. But let me just say this on behalf of my colleagues and myself. We are all committed to the...
Now in its 9th year, the Kisima Awards continues to champion the rise of local music. The award, let me tell you one thing, without sponsors, we cannot make successful this event, as well as without audience. And our target audience is the youth. So we need all your support throughout the event, and we make sure we can get the success of this time. Thank you very much.
So without the media, you have nothing. So we must underscore the importance of the media, and for such an occasion as Kisima Awards, I wish to reiterate, he visited Kenya some 2 decades or so ago. He said his biggest fear was not the lions that you see at the Masai, I think, Mara National Park, but rather the power of the media. So we must understand and request you to use your good lenses, your good space, your good pens to support this important award. Now Kenya started country brands and started the brand Kenya Award. Now when you brand a country, what it means is that you position a country globally to consumers so that it is top of mind for every consumer. In the case of music, you position your music such that any consumer of music internationally thinks first or second or third, at the very least, about Kenyan music. So for us at Brand Kenya Award, music is important and is one of our 8 elements that we'll use, or we will use, and I can promise you that, to try to brand this nation. Locally, we believe that music, the talent of music, can help us unlock the wealth and employment opportunity for our youth, that your Vice Chair said ably, consists of 60% of our population. Through music also, for the media, you'll be getting your usual content, especially for your radio, your broadcast, radio and TV, and other electronic media. So it is important that you realize that the future is there. With the new Communication Act, there's a lot of potential. But this potential can only be harnessed if Kenyans learn to recognize first and to reward excellence. And Kisima Award, to us at Brand Kenya, and indeed in the government, is one watershed event that can take that position and help us. We cannot ignore music. But the biggest message for Kenyans is this. We are consumers of music internationally. Could we allocate our consumption of music to Kenyan music first and foremost? If we consume music 100%, could 60% of the music that Kenyans themselves consume, could that music be Kenyan music? Could our artists also focus on Kenyan, original Kenyan rhythms and lyrics, as your Vice Chair said, the Ohangla and whatnot? Things that can also make the country compete. Because if you compete globally, and you are churning out what every country is churning out, then you will miss your competitive edge. So my challenge to you is to remix the original and even create and innovate new music from Kenya. And for the Kenya consumers themselves, starting with the media, could we consume Kenyan music first before we adapt the international music? And then could we also make sure that our music are properly marketed to be our export in the rest of the country so that our artists learn? Could we stop patronizing music that is not copyrighted so that we have the correct rights being enjoyed by our artists? Because music can unlock a lot of potential for a country. Music and drama, I think we have seen what music and drama has done to countries like Nigeria and even India. We can position and reposition this country through music. Music is also important, as your Vice Chair said. It is one way of Kenyans fighting our perennial problem of ethnicity. In Kenya, ethnicity or tribalism, put it cheaply, is a common currency that people peddle around. But music transcends this ethnicity. Music transcends, I think, even racialism. You can see some of our sponsors, where they're coming from before you even see one of us here. So it is important for us to see the role of music in the country's socio-economic development. For Kisima, I've heard what your organizers have in store for you and for the country. But I have a word of encouragement for you. As a nation, we are also pessimistic. Kenyans like being pessimistic, or they start viewing Kisima, the renewed Kisima, from different and wrong lenses. Some will find out, oh, this thing died, maybe we need supply at this time. Let us look at history as a way to envision the future. And let us be a country of people who have hope and who are proud of themselves, people who think that they can live. Because indeed, internationally, Kenya leads in human resource. Kenya leads in its people. A friend of mine, I think Professor from USIU, mentioned integrity, accountability, and all that. Let all of us accept these as our values, and in whatever we do, in small ways, in big ways, let us do them with integrity, with professionalism, and accountability. Accountability means if you have got funds for an event like this you are hosting it on behalf of a country, on behalf of a community. Then you must be accountable, you must do it effectively and efficiently, and look after the resources, and make sure we don't have the usual negatives and negativities that are a preoccupation for Kenyans. So that encouragement, ignore the few the few discouragements that you may come across or you may hear. Go forward and make Kisima an annual event that every musician looks forward to. Make it an enriching experience that brings all Kenyans together. Now, as the publisher of Media 7 magazines, I think 4 of my magazines, Mom and Dad, G, HM, and Her, can go a long way to promote the Kenya artists who want to make use of them. You have those magazines to use, and that will be free of charge. So it's up to you to approach my editorial team, and this magazine will support Kisima, support our artists like Miss Universities. I wouldn't mind seeing you in one of the covers of the few magazines. We will promote you. Media has the power. Take advantage of the power and look for the media. Don't wait for the media to discover you. So be aggressive, as Kenyans are known to be, and look for the media so that you can leverage yourself. With those few remarks, I think I beg to sit or stand. And I hope I've distracted by you today. Thank you.